Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Javier In The Air. Sorry about last week. I'm still actually recovering from having to get rid of the old computer, unfortunately. So I'm moving things over, so I'm going to make this kind of a short of Javier in your face and more of all the other stuff I have. So I'm going to have a Zen moment, going to have a talk about work from home as opposed to hybrid as opposed to full-time in the office, and I'm also going to have some updates on some projects, and then we're going to call it a day so that I can still continue to work on this and bring you the data and the information that you know and love that I bring you, plus the fun, and then we'll really get at it next week. So let's take it away and go to the Taco Deli. Okay, so for those of y'all who haven't ever been before, this is Taco Deli. This is actually the one right by the Greenbelt on Barton Skyway, and so right by my new office location. So we went for lunch one day. It was a steep downhill walk, but we made it. And so here's some pictures of some of the stuff inside this Taco Deli location. I've had Taco Deli before, but I've never actually been to a Taco Deli location. I know it's weird, but that's how it goes. So here's the menu, which is hard to read. I had it at a weird angle, so you don't get to see it as much as I was hoping that you would see it. And but I went ahead and ordered some. I ordered the cowboy, and I ordered another one. For the life of me, I can't remember. I just thought this was cool. Doña Stash. Grab a napkin, so you want to stay clean there. It was a very well air-conditioned location, which felt great when we came in from the outside, and then they have also outside seating as well. So here's another little quirk that they have. Have tacos will travel. Taco Deli does do catering. In fact, there's a lot of locations that have Taco Deli tacos, which is where I've had their tacos before. So here are the two tacos that I had. I got some of the Doña sauce, and I put them on both of them, and they were absolutely fantastic. The tortillas were good. I gave it a 7 out of 10, only because from San Antonio. There's a lot more taco places that are better. The only sad note was this Mexican rice. It just didn't do it for me. It felt like it was almost like cafeteria style, and then they added some tomato paste and stuff like that. So, but overall, it was a great location. Taco Deli, Barton Skyway. If you haven't been to Taco Deli, check it out. Okay, so there you have it. I'm sorry about the lighting. I'm kind of going in and out. I don't have the lighting set up in a way that I like yet. So maybe this might work. I don't know. No, that gives me a little bit too much. That's not working right. Oh, maybe if I bounce it off the wall. No, still not working right. So anyway, that was the Taco Deli. So again, if you haven't been to a Taco Deli location, I definitely would check it out. So next we're going to go straight into the why don't we go ahead and do our Zen moment, something I put together on the way home one day from my commute, and I thought it'd be interesting to try it out. So I haven't even double checked it, but I know it's pretty good. So let's see how it goes. Hey everybody, so welcome back. I got the light looking a little bit better, but I'll have it ironed out by next week. So that was on the road with Jay Anderson. So I hope you enjoyed a little bit of the commute I see almost every day during the week. Though I am going to be starting to work from home every other week starting tomorrow, Monday, July 18th. So, which brings me to the topic of conversation that I might as well get into right now. Um, so, here's the thing that we want to talk about. I've been seeing a lot of articles. A lot of people are having issues with their remote working. I still can't get that lighting right. It's not getting me what I want. Um, it's a little better. Maybe if I move. So anyway, what I'm trying to do is talk a little bit about, um, there, much better. Um, Working remote as opposed to working from home, as opposed to hybrid. So for the past almost 3 years, I've been working from home. I started working from home a little bit before lockdown, so to speak. Started a new job during lockdown, and so I was able to get a lot used to just working from home. So my bedroom's about 12 feet from me, and I would wake up as early or as late being 7, and logging into work, and then going about my day. So a lot of people like myself got used to it. However, now from the articles that I've been reading, there's a lot of people who no longer want to go back to work, and they go back to an office, I should say, not work, back to an office. So the what I'm doing now is what they would call a hybrid position, where I get to work from home 2 weeks a month, so every other week, and then I get to work from the office in that. But the first 90 days of my new job, which is just ended, the 90 days ended on Friday, I had to work in the office. So, what I've been hearing from a lot of friends of mine that are hiring managers and people that are just in general working is that there's a lot of people who are refusing, not refusing, I should say, that's not the right word. More, they just don't want to work in the office. And they got used to working from home, and they got used to doing what they want and getting off early and spending more time with their friends and spending more time with their family and spending time getting errands done and all that. So that's all well and good. And they refuse to work in the office, and they refuse to even do what is now called a hybrid work uh, schedule, which is you work from home some days or some weeks, and then you work in the office some days or some weeks. So I have to admit that I got used to working from home, and the first 90 days was really a tough one because I had positioned myself at one of my previous jobs where I was less than 7 miles away from the office. So commute was like 15 minutes. And so it wasn't really technically a commute, and people would make fun of me because they're like, or they'd be envious that I was so close to home that I could just be doing a lot of things um, rather than commute. Well, my new position is we just moved 2 weeks ago down south off of Barton Skyway, as you noticed from Taco Deli when I was talking about that Barton Skyway location. So it was a transition, not only just going back to a commute, but going back to a long commute, which I have not done in probably 20 years. So, but what I have to say is that I have been, for the most part, in an office position. Or I'm sorry, my position required me to be in the office. So even though it's been 3 years and it's nice and everything, I had not grown to the point where I refuse to work in an office. My job requires me to work in the office part of the month, and so that's what I do. Now, I get it. There's people new in the workforce. They're younger than me. Even some people that are my age and a little bit younger than I that don't want to work in an office anymore. I get it. I would love to just step out into my backyard at 4:30 every day, just boom, be right there and spend a couple of hours before I do anything else. The problem is not the problem. The thing is that my job requires me to not be able to do that every day during the week. So the for the people that are refusing to go back in the office, if you can find a job that you don't have to be in an office, good for you. Take that job, especially because you don't want to work in an office. It may not be the job you always want, may not be the pay you always want, may not have the benefits you always want, except for the benefit of being able to just be steps away from your back door or front door or from your bedroom. Hell, you may even work in your bedroom. And so here's the thing. You get what you may have to get what you can. There's a fine line nowadays between both the pushback of employees wanting to work from home and the pushback from the employers who want you to work in the office. So the happy medium right now is the hybrid position, like I am in, and you have to decide for yourself. It's a personal decision as to whether you want to find a job where you can work at home, or find a job where you can work in the office all the time, or find a job that's a hybrid. Whatever works for you. Now, here's the caveat with that. A lot of employers now are starting to push back a little as well. Originally, when we came out of the hardcore lockdown, employees really had the upper hand, and they're like, I'm not going to work in an office anymore. And so they were getting there's a lot of jobs where they were like, I get it, and they're doing this. And okay, so side note, we are spoiled. This is a side note tangent. We are spoiled. I was thinking about this as I was talking, but for people who work in an office, be grateful that you have the ability to negotiate whether you work from home, or negotiate that you work a hybrid position if you don't want to work in an office full time, or if you don't want to work in an office at all. We are spoiled. We, and I include myself as well with that, are spoiled. There are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of jobs out there where they have no choice. They have to go to an office. For example, cleaning crew. There are hundreds of thousands of jobs where people's office are picking fruit, or having to be out, tarring roofs, or being out fixing HVAC, plumbers, electricians, carpenters, stuff like that, where they have no choice. It's either in their office per se, which is it could be a garage or a mechanic shop or things like that, and that is what they have to do. You can't do a carpenter's job sitting from an office inside your home upstairs on the second floor. They have to go to the office. So we're talking about the spoiled elite percentage of us, myself included, yeah, and I include myself as being spoiled and elite, that I have the opportunity to work at home when I can. So, and it's perspective, and it's also about, and I hate to say it, and I'm not trying to be ageist, but it's about the certain amount of years that you've had under your belt working. So if you have a very short career and a lot of that you've been able to work at home, I totally get it. You want to work from home, and your experience has been, for the most part, working from home. It's great. And if you don't ever want to work in an office, good on you. If you could find the jobs that pay you for that, good on you. Do it. But there's a lot of jobs a lot of opportunities you could miss, and a lot of jobs that you're not going to get, even though you're like, this is a perfect job. If only they would let me work from home. That if only, that's going to cost you the job. And as long as you're okay with that, that's fine. So You may have longer periods of unemployment. You may have longer periods where you're unable to find a job at all. And you may have to take a job where you're going to have to go out into the world because you're looking for that perfect job, and that perfect job is for you working at home, and you can't get it because now all the jobs that were cush that allowed you to be at home all the time, employers are now pushing back. So if you want that position, you want to work from home all the time for the rest of your life, do it. It's great. I did it for 3 years. My brother's done it for a long time. And there's perks to it. Sometimes there's cons, but there is many perks to it. And if you can get away with it and you can do it and you get the jobs that you want, good on you. I just don't see it for a lot of people that are out there. I just don't see it happening because, and like I said, employers are pushing back. So I feel with this position, I was in the office for 90 days, and even though some or sometimes all of my team was working from home, I still got that good visceral physical connection with them by seeing them every couple of days or once a week or something like that in person, as opposed to only seeing them via Zoom. There's something to be said about that. Now, and again, if you've had a long enough career like I have, you're used to being in the office. So yeah, 3 years was great, but I knew sooner or later that the bill would come due, and I would have to go back to an office. I got lucky enough that I am able to have a hybrid position, and I think there's a lot of companies out there and a lot of employers and a lot of employees that are trying to hash out that hybrid position. The problem is if you're locked into, if the employee, the company's locked into a lease, or they're locked into owning a building, why have it sit there empty? If the building is still theirs, or they're leased out for 5 more years, they don't want to pay for nothing. So their ROI for them personally is that they want to have assets, employees in the office with butts in the seats because they're paying for that building. So it's not that it's more cost effective. It's that why are we spending all this money that we have to now pay for this lease or this rent or some, or even this building, with most of our employees working from home? Doesn't make any sense. And if we're locked into this lease, or we're locked into this mortgage, or we're locked into whatever, they are going to have you do it. Now eventually they may switch or may not. In 10 years time, it could be that all office positions have been removed altogether and everybody works from home. I seriously doubt that's going to happen. I think there is too much in the human condition, and there is too much jobs where it requires you to see somebody in person, meet them, and go about your business, whatever that business may be. And again, this excludes all those positions for those who have had to work outside their house for their entire careers and will continue to have to do that. And there's always going to be someone like that. So I've been having this discussion with friends of mine about, what's better and what's not. And again, it's just all perspective. If you can get away with it, and I say get away with it, I know it might upset some people, but if you can do it, get away with it, then go for it. If that's what you want, that's great. I know it helps out some people that have, physical distance issues, who may be more immunocompromised, that they really can't go into an office these days because COVID is still hanging around our shoulders. I get that. But if you're a healthy individual and your choice is you want to work from home, find a job that will allow you to do that. By all means, do it. It may not always be what you want, may not always be what you even went to school for. You may be like, I went to school for X, but I can only find jobs for Y, but Y allows me to work from home all the time, and that's what I want to do. So it really comes down to what works best for you and or your family, if you have a family. Luckily for me, or unlucky, depending on how you look at it, I live alone, single. So if I have to go to work, if I have to drive to an office, then I will drive to an office for my job. There's nothing at home. Like if I had a sick child, or I had, a sick spouse, or I had all these things, scenarios you can think of where I had to be at home, then I would have not taken this job. I would have kept looking for a job where I could work from home permanently, and so be it. It may have to make less money, or it may have to be in a different field, or it may have to be doing something I really don't like, but it would be the best for my family. So luckily, I am not in that position. So I'm able to take a position where I commute upwards to, half hour, 45 minutes on the way in, and sometimes a half hour up to an hour on the way home. So luckily, that's a short commute for some people, depending on where you live in the country. So bottom line is, enjoy the work at home when you can. If you want to work at home from now on, find that job. No matter what that job is, it may suck for you. It may take you longer to build your way back up, or it may not. But do what you want. However, don't fall into the trap that you are expecting companies to give in to what you want. Turns out we have some power right now as employees, but we don't have all the power. So you can't dictate, hey, I want to work from home for the rest of my life working for you, and expect them to say yes if it's not their policy. So suck it up and get that job you really want if you can get it so that you can work at home. If not, suck it up and you have to go and work in an office somewhere, or at a company or something like that, hybrid wise, or full time in the office. So don't be expecting for that to go away, because I really don't think that's ever going to go away 100% for office type jobs. So good luck with whatever search you have. Hope you find a position that you're happy with, and I hope it fulfills whatever you're looking for, which is work from home all the time, hybrid, or even work from the office. So thanks a lot. Hey everybody, and so I wanted to have a break between what I may call this section the bottom line. So I like the way I was talking about that. So, but I wanted to be a little bit different. I wanted to have that break from what was being said to the end of the show. Let me know what you think about it. I'd like to start adding a more serious section to things. It may require me to readjust some of the things, but that's what this show is about. I try to change it up as much as I can, make it a little bit less angry-ish for my sake, and a little bit good, a little bit more what's in the news for my dad's sake, and for Brother Rob, and for some other people who wanted a little bit more substance and less fluff. In other words, just me in my garden doing stuff. So I will be doing that. I will be trying to mix it up and add more things to it. Always looking for more people to be on the show. I'd love to have what would be considered a second opinion, maybe, or just a second person on the show. Excuse the lighting from the thing. I still can't get the darn lighting right. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to find someone who can join the show every now and then, give some dissenting opinions, or even some approving opinions of what I have to say. Again, no politics or religion, which can be tough these days, but there you have it. And if you own a mom and pop store, oh, by the way, I almost forgot, and I said I would mention her. So on Nextdoor.com, for those of you who are in this area, I went to... Actually, I was on Nextdoor.com, and there was a young lady by the name of Trisha May who had some herb-crusted bread for sale. And I thought I would try it because I like to help out the little person, and being business-wise. And turns out that herb-crusted bread was really good. She brought it to me yesterday when we were right before we started poker game that we were playing. Some of us, neighbors James and Zida, of course, and a few others that you may have known from my podcast, did the poker game, which went over well, and that bread was warm. She had just baked them, so they were fantastic. The right amount of herbs. It kind of reminded me of like a pizza crust smell. since I haven't had a pizza in 3 years, I thought it was fantastic. I didn't have a lot of the bread, but what I had was really, really good. Homemade, dairy free, looked perfect, tasted perfect. So if you're on Nextdoor, look for Trisha May, and she is selling bread in our area. If you're not in our area, then get on Nextdoor or anywhere that you can and see if you can find little places like her doing that. I'm gonna probably have some of her bread, and I might even put some of Crazy Stacy's jelly on it. I was at a craft fair yesterday for Cedar Park Market Days. They pop up one Saturday a month, and they had some different stuff on there, and it was really good. I had some great coffee, a latte from Super Good Coffee Company, and so they were out there and they were doing really good. So, but if you have a mom and pop business that you'd like me to promote on the show, see if I can get that out. Let me know. Drop me a line, email, message, Instagram, whatever, however you can get a hold of me here at Javier In The Air. YouTube comments as well. And I'll reach out to you and I'll set something up so that we can have a meet and greet and talk about what you make, what you produce. So I will have some more gardening information. I know for all of you who don't like it, I will have some gardening information about an update on my loofahs and melons that I've been growing, and what else I'm going to try to grow this season. And we'll have more about all that next week. And so I hope you enjoyed the topics that I picked today. If you have a comment about the commentary that I had, please offer your opinion. I will certainly get it on the show, and we can have a discourse about it. And let me know what's going on in your world. So I will talk to you next week. Thanks for being patient on my computer snafus. I hope to have everything ironed out next week. I'll talk to you then. Have a great one, everyone. Thanks a lot.